It's 7 p.m. here on Saturday night, September 9th in Ventnor City, New Jersey. And this is, well, Saturday night with CarEdge and your hosts, me, Ray, and the guy wearing the Iron Man shirt, Zach.
Got the race tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. So
Yes.
getting excited for that. If anyone's in Atlantic City doing the Atlantic City half Ironman, please say hi tomorrow. Last race I did,
Yes.
I actually finished the run, which I was walking, with a community member. I forget his name at the moment, but we actually walked the final portions together, which was quite fun. Tonight, Dad.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about Toyota, Ford, and GM. We're also going to throw Stellantis in there as well. They have, I used the word in the title, screwed buyers. You can use whatever word you want.
Taken advantage of.
And now
they're
paying a bit of a price. Let's start with the domestics, and then we'll move over to Toyota.
Okay.
We have done research, Dad, back on CarEdge.com. I'm going to pull this up on the screen for everyone so that they can see it. We've done research that shows how much automakers have increased their base MSRPs, how much they've increased their prices in the past 5 years.
Okay.
When you look at this list, it is shocking. Stellantis.
Yes.
We didn't even put them in the title because we talk about Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, all them enough. They've increased their prices 48.61%, Dad.
Wow.
Buyers aren't buying. Ford, they've increased their prices 41.92%. Buyers aren't buying. GM, 26.99%, and we still know buyers aren't buying. The reason that we know buyers aren't buying, Dad, is because...
Please share.
Because if you go to Cox Automotive and you read between the tea leaves...
Which is what I'm always trying to, because in every book I have, instead of the lines in the book, it's tea leaves.
If you read between the tea leaves, folks, all you got to do is look in the industry publication to see GM has another down week at its Fort Wayne, Indiana truck plant that makes the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra pickups due to unspecified part shortages.
Yes.
Making it 2 weeks that it's been idle. GM's Mexico plant that makes the trucks has been down for 3 weeks for the same problem. The Ontario plant had the shortage of axles causing a production disruption, and Ford has F-150 production in Kansas City halted last week, also because of an unspecified part shortage. If you need proof, don't ask us about our market days supply and things like that. If you need proof that these automakers, they took advantage of customers by building too many expensive things. That's not Toyota yet. We're going to get to Toyota. And now they're having to come up with unspecified part shortages for why they're restricting supply. They're on the brink of the strike that's also going to restrict supply. Yeah, they screwed buyers. And now they're starting to pay the price. That's how I see it.
Yes. However you see it. Yes. It's obvious, especially in Stellantis' case, where they have raised their pricing over the last 5 years more than anyone else. And the reality is that the Stellantis brands, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, they were, even though they were part of the big three, they were always considered the lower end of the big three.
Sure.
Quality-wise, material-wise, price-wise, they were always less than everyone else. And suddenly, they decided that, well, no, we could be just like everybody else, except, their customer base and the reason they were their customer base is because they made more affordable cars than the other two of the big three. Well, their customer base is getting squeezed out because Stellantis has decided that they're going to make more expensive cars now.
Yeah, the average transaction price for all of Stellantis vehicles has gone up materially over the past 5 years. 48%. Let that sink in. I mean, that leads the league. And not by a little bit, by a lot. And then you look at the other domestics. Ford, I guess you could give GM some props. Theirs has only gone up 28%. But Ford's has gone up more than 40%.
Yes.
They're pricing people out of the market. And it's interesting. There's a comment here from John B. Dad. You better add Nissan to the list. Honestly, gang, we could add pretty much everyone with the exception of like Subaru, Mazda.
Well, Mazda's going more up market. They've admitted to it. We're starting to see it. I mean, one of our community members recently picked up a CX-90 that was just a tad short of $60,000.
Okay, I thought you were going to say 70. Okay, good. There's no $70,000 Mazdas, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, because we've got John B here saying you better add Nissan to the list because they're starting to get rid of lower end models and they're going all in for the expensive EVs. Who else is doing that? The domestics.
Yeah, every one of them. Well, so they claim. I am of the opinion that the concept of going all in on EVs is almost like a death knell for that manufacturer that says, yeah, we're going to pass on ICE vehicles. We're just going to go all in on EVs. And when they can't figure out how to make them to make money, they're going to be all in on going out of business. Okay?
You're talking about like Ford, for example.
Yeah, I'm talking if Ford at the beginning of the year said, we expect to lose $3 billion this year on our EV sales. Okay. They're not going to be profitable. It's going to cost the company $3 billion. Then Tesla lowered their prices to, tighten the screws on every one of the legacy manufacturers. And so Ford had to lower their prices. And 2 days after they announced the price reductions, they revised what their expected losses were for the EV division, which is now expected to be $4.5 billion this year. So we know they're not making money on the EVs. They claim by, I believe, 2026 that they should be able to be making 8% profit margin on them. So they're going to go from a negative profit margin on them to an 8% profit margin in 3 years, as the cost of manufacturing those keeps going up. It just.
But let me ask a question.
Yes.
What bankrolled that for the longest time?
Well, it was ICE vehicles.
But what about those ICE vehicles?
What about them?
Expensive, high content, and now what's happening?
They're not selling.
Exactly. That
Yes.
like, to me, it's like you can do anything when money's flush. When you've got cash sitting around, you can do anything, Pops.
Yes.
But what happens? What happens when people stop buying them? And then you're losing the $4.5 billion. I truly believe that there were boardroom meetings.
Yeah.
That were, let's see how much we can raise prices. Let's just go. Like, we got to go. Everyone knows there's a chip shortage. Let's go. And then what happens? People stop buying them. And now we're looking around. I was like, I wonder how we sell cars.
I know how they sell cars.
You gotta lower the price.
If people don't want something, it's because the price is too
New
high.
car inventory is on the cusp of surpassing used vehicle inventory. There's over 2 million new cars in inventory. There's 2.25 million used cars in inventory. It is not normal for there to be more new cars in inventory than used cars. Let that sink in for a moment.
Well, it's not normal these days. It hasn't been normal for the past 2.5 years. It was normal in the past. I mean, when there used to be 3.5 million new vehicles that were available on a monthly basis, well, that far surpassed the number of used cars that were out there. But the problem is that they, there was a video that dropped today talking about
Ford and Chevy,
Ford and Chevy and the prices, and we caught a lot of heat because we said, well, look at this, somewhat reasonably priced work trucks at $52,000, and people were going, well, that's not reasonably priced, but yet it is in comparison to the other vehicles that are in the market.
Yeah.
When Ford's average F-Series transaction price is north of $66,000, a truck that is just over $50,000 or just under $50,000 is relatively inexpensive in comparison. Now, I'm not saying that's a good value. I'm not saying that price hasn't gone up dramatically in the last 2 years, because it has.
Totally.
But in today's world, that's a relatively inexpensive work truck.
Not to mention the fact that I'm going to pull this up on the screen briefly, and then I want to turn our attention to why I included Toyota in this list.
And while you're doing that, can I just answer one quick question for George Probert?
Sure.
George wants to know if I went back to Xfinity Internet and got rid of Verizon. I did, shortly after I made the mistake of going to the Verizon 5G home network in the first place.
So we have an article back on CarEdge.com, The Disappearing Act of Affordable Trucks, Vanishing Base Models Drive Truck Prices Higher. This research that Justin on our team did, paired with the other research of the average transaction prices going up, this shows you where those work trucks went. These charts all show you what inventory was for work trucks, base model trucks back in 2019 and where they are today. You're obviously seeing on the F-150 XL a little bit of an increase. You're seeing a little bit of an increase on the Chevy Silverado work truck. Nothing from the Ram 1500 class. So it's like all of them went down in inventory. And that's another factor here is that when you restrict inventory, you can hold more pricing, which is my second point, Dad.
Yes.
Toyota, you can make a strong case that everything that we've just said about manufacturers that have increased prices and then now they're sitting on inventory, they screwed buyers and now they're paying the price. Toyota would be the anomaly. Because even if you look at our data, let's pull it back up. Toyota has increased their prices in the past 5 years 32.15%. But look at that. Their days supply is 34 days. Go to the CarEdge car search. Go for it.
But one of the reasons that their day supply is so short in this country is because in North America, their profit margin on their vehicles here, from a corporate perspective, runs at about 3% profit margin. Elsewhere around the globe, it's anywhere from 8 to 13%. So if I was Toyota and I was building all the vehicles that I could build, am I going to send an excessive amount of them to North America, or where I'm going to make 3%, or am I going to send the vast majority of them to the other countries where our profit margin is 8 to 13%?
The business case is simple, but the implications are real. Look at
I understand that. They're losing market share.
Let me show you something, Pops. Yeah, actually, let me go back to the screen. Okay. I'm in Georgia. We're in Ventnor City, New Jersey, but I'm in Georgia. In transit, in transit, in transit, in transit, in transit.
Everything's in transit.
This is a nationwide search for new Toyota Highlanders nationwide.
Yes.
There's 10,000 of them. Availability filter, exclude in transit.
Okay.
There's actually 3,700. Okay. Toyota does not have on-the-ground inventory, and what they do
and the on-the-ground inventory, a lot of it's sold.
Yeah, look at the days supply. 12 days supply of the Grand Highlander, and that's BS. It's even less than that because it's pre-sold. What about just a normal Highlander? 35 days supply. Again, BS because it's probably already sold. What about a 4Runner? These are not even the most popular ones. 33 days, and again, probably BS because it's already sold. But what does that lead to, Dad? It leads to situations like this. We've got posted over on Reddit. I'm getting so effed up. Fed up. Or effed up.
No, I think that's fed up.
Could be either way.
Ooh, I think you took liberties there.
Yeah, what's happening is that customers are going to dealerships. And they're being told, I put a deposit down at my dealership in July of 2022. They said 6 to 8 months wait. I was okay with that. Salesman didn't contact me after December 2022. Then May 2023, the stupid dealership sent me a random email asking if I found my RAV4 yet. I replied nicely enough, but then let them know I was not happy. I heard nothing from my reply. Miraculously, the end of May 2023, they contacted me saying they have an allocation being built first week of June 2023, and I should have it no later than the second week of July. I've been tracking the car, and it was built 1st of June, but the delivery date keeps getting pushed back and back. Now it says end of August. I'm so effed up, whatever, either way, with this crap. Where the hell is the disconnect? Is it the dealership? Are they not paying the bills or something? Are they just me around? Is it Toyota playing some long game?
You can say jerking.
I don't think so. In that context, I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay.
The price of RAV4s have gone up since my deposit, and the interest rates have also gone up as well. This is not okay, and I have been more than patient and reasonable. I like the car. Is in my grasp, but they keep taking it back. The 2024s will be out soon. Any advice? We have over on Twitter, formerly Twitter, one of our community members. At what point does this stuff become a bait and switch? I went to the dealer with an advertised price of MSRP. Get there to find there's $15,000 in add-ons and adjustments. They came down, quote, as much as they can to $6,500. The reason that Toyota has screwed buyers and now they're paying the price is because you can only take restricting supply so much before those consumers find an alternative means.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we are now seeing on two ends of the spectrum. This is fascinating to me. You've got domestics
Yes.
that jacked up the prices of their cars, and now they are in my opinion,
Yes.
they are intentionally restricting production of their vehicles so that they can bring pricing power back in their favor. And then you have Toyota at the other end of the spectrum. Because of the reason you shared, they just don't make as much money here in the United States as they do in other countries. They are restricting inventory in the United States to the point that they are pissing off customers so much that they have no option other than to go find an alternative.
Yes, and people are.
Car buying in 2023, man. This is bad.
Well, it's for who?
It's been bad for a long time, and it continues to be bad for the consumer, and honestly for the dealer too. Well, definitely for the dealer. You think we've heard it? The Mercedes dealers.
Yes.
They wrote that. They penned that letter to Mercedes corporate. They said, "Stop giving us such expensive cars. We want cheaper cars so we can actually sell them to people."
Yes.
So we hear it from the dealers. We hear it from the consumers.
Yes.
And the OEM makes a lot of money.
And the more consumers that stay away, the greater the likelihood is that eventually the pendulum will swing and the manufacturers will change their plans as to what it is that they're going to manufacture, and they'll start offering some less expensive versions. Probably still not in the numbers that are needed, but enough to pick the market back up a little bit, because there has been a slowdown.
Definitely. The slowdown's very real.
Yes. I mean, that's one of the reasons why inventory is up to 2.06 million, because there has been a slowdown. Even though there was sales in August, new car sales in August were up 17% year over year. Okay. However, everybody's going, well, that might not bode well. Well, the reason it doesn't bode well is because inventory built up dramatically, and the only reason that sales were up 17% was because fleet sales were up so much.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, the manufacturers will be forced to listen to the silence coming from their consumers who are no longer walking into the dealerships to buy cars. Okay? That's what will get the manufacturers to change what it is that they will build. This is I said this is not a build it, they will come.
But then there's the interesting dynamic, Ted.
Yes.
Which is the manufacturer makes money when they sell the car, wholesale the car to the dealer. So do they even have really an incentive? And then if you do not follow us Monday through Friday over on the Ray and Zag channel, my dad had one of his most interesting rants ever. Yeah. Because we were talking about the relationship between the dealers and the factory. They're not you hated your relationship with the factory. So you're bringing up the point, if consumers stop buying these cars, it'll influence the manufacturer to change what they're doing. But will it? Because the manufacturer can still just wholesale the cars to the dealer, and the dealer's stuck and screwed with it.
It will, because the dealers, once they can't sell them and the stuff really starts building up, they're going to go screaming to their factory reps. We need some factory support. We need to see much larger incentives than what we've had. Oh, and if you really don't want to do a lot in incentives, then start shipping us less expensive vehicles. That'll be one way to cut down on your incentive spend.
Yeah.
But until then, the manufacturer is going to pay for it. They are.
Yeah.
But they will listen when showroom doors don't open, when people don't come in. And one of the things that factory reps always do on a Monday is they call around and go, how was floor traffic this past week?
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because their bosses that they report to want to know, well, how was floor traffic out there? Because that indicates to them what it is that they may need to do marketing wise in order to move the product. So if factory reps are calling up and they're going, my God, it was dead this weekend. We normally sell 30 cars in a weekend. We sold 10. Floor traffic was a third of what it normally is. Appointments were down 60%. That information is going to get transferred from the factory rep to the zone manager, and the zone manager, it's going to go up the food chain. And at a certain point, adjustments are going to be made.
And then all the hard numbers also demonstrate it as well. All the numbers show that days supply for the domestics continues to build. And we know Toyota is intentional. Like that's the difference here. And I'm seeing some of the comments saying, like, when is this stuff that you guys say actually going to be true? It's true right now. It's very true right now. I was talking to a Ford dealer just last week. They rescinded allocation. The dealer does not have to accept all the vehicles.
They turned some of it down.
They did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they have too much and they can't sell it.
Yes,
so
and
why
it's in the dealer's best interest to not take additional inventory on if it's not moving. And the manufacturer hates that.
And especially when floor plan costs are so high. Again, dealers finance their inventory. They don't pay cash for it, most of them.
Yeah.
So it's like this stuff is happening right now. And it is leading to better deals on certain vehicles. Now, the wild card is obviously the potential strike with the UAW for the domestics. But then it's, again, Toyota on their end just intentionally withholding inventory from the United States because they don't make as much money in the United States. So you can't really blame them. They can sell the same cars in Africa and make 4 times the profit.
Okay.
Where are you sending the car?
I think they're going to Africa.
And so what's Toyota's decision in the United States? It's going to be a bunch of people having the experience that our community member had with markups, Utaka had, or the experience that we have here from crap internet over on Reddit. People are just getting fed up and pissed off with trying to buy from Toyota.
Yeah, no, it is.
Who wins in this, Stead? Because I think it's another brand.
Other manufacturers.
It's Tesla.
Other brands.
Tesla.
Yeah, other brands win.
Definitely.
If you're willing to abdicate some of your market share because your profit margins are off, and you want to, and you can still sell everything that you're shipping to the country, then the other brands win. I mean, we see it. I see the comments, where people go, yeah, I was thinking about Toyota, but I ended up with a Mazda.
Let's ask in the chat, have you thought about buying a vehicle recently and looked at a different OEM because they didn't have the one you wanted, the wait was going to be too long? I'm not singling out Toyota here, but share with us in the chat if you have. While you're doing that,
yes, I
want to come back here. We had a thoughtful contribution come in from Donner Pass Whiskey. Thank you for the contribution. Subaru, are they still producing a lot of base models? It's a lot of Onyx trims, which are their top line. Yeah. No, not really.
Not as many base models as they had been, but even their non-base models are still seem to be less expensive than their competitors in many cases.
We can do Donner Pass for you. Let's do a quick experiment live on the CarEdge.com website. So we can keep in transit.
Zach loves live experiments.
I love doing these things. Yeah. Subaru. And then let's
do a cross-track because you know how popular they are.
We can do cross-track. So there are only 2,244 Subaru cross-tracks on the ground in the United States.
How many of them are base?
Yeah, let's look. So trim options, we've got 2.0, the base,
just 2 base.
Limited, Premium, Sport, and Wilderness.
92. There you have it.
You want a base Subaru Crosstrek in the United States of America. There are 92 on the ground. Good luck.
Yeah. A $26,600 car. There's 92 of them. Yeah. So in answer to your question, I mean, Subaru is not building as many of their base vehicles.
The price points are still significantly lower than their peers. I should be very clear. Even the higher trim. So here, we'll pull it back up on the screen. I don't want to make it seem like Subaru is all bad because they're one of the best brands in the market right now. Look who's lowest in terms of 5-year price increase, Subaru and then Nissan. Okay, so those are 2 brands, and I personally, we didn't have Mazda data for this. I think Mazda would be relatively low on this list as well. Those are 2 brands that have increased their prices the least. That being said, are they still producing the entry-level trims?
Not so much.
What's 92 out of 2,200?
Well, it's
0.5%?
Very small percentage.
Less than 0.5%. A quarter of a percent.
Yeah. It's tiny.
Been a Toyota buyer. This is from K Mike A for 25 plus years. Probably going to go with someone else due to all the games they are playing. Was looking for a Highlander, but moved over to an Outlander and CX-90.
And and in a lot of cases, it's not necessarily Toyota the manufacturer. It's what their dealers are doing. But in this case, it also is Toyota the manufacturer because they've made a conscious decision to send the vast majority of their vehicles elsewhere. And so the only ones they're going to send here are the higher profit margin ones for them. And their profit margin on their cars here is next to nothing.
They make 3% in the United States. They make 12% in Africa.
Yeah.
Where are they sending the car?
Yeah.
We're not kids. Like, we get it. We understand money talks. We get it.
Yeah.
I was looking at a Camry XSE all-wheel drive. Gave me a sour taste in my mouth and instead bought a Cadillac CTS all-wheel drive. That sticker. Yeah.
Well, that's not something somebody would go, yeah, I bet you we're competing against a Cadillac.
I mean, it just, I'm literally, Megan. Yes, I wanted a Honda, but bought Acura instead, so I wouldn't have to wait.
Yeah. And you got a better warranty.
And you did get a better warranty.
Yeah.
Drew, thanks for the contribution.
Thank you, sir.
If I want to get a manufacturer incentive rate, does that change the way I approach negotiations? Bank approved at 7%, but manufacturer has a 2.9% interest rate.
Well, the 2.9% interest rate is based off of credit score. So, you need to find out if you would even qualify. And usually it's top tier gets the 2.9. So, if your goal is to get a better rate than what you can get at your bank, and you might not necessarily qualify for the manufacturer rate, if you went in and you negotiated your car deal and then you said, oh, and by the way, what kind of rate can you get me on a loan? I've got a 7% rate from my bank. They'll beat it in order for you to finance it with them.
Absolutely. Dad, I want to come here. Here we got one from Mayaz Kazur. From a Toyota
My
Highlander.
ass kisser.
Oh.
Let me help you with that.
My ass Kazur. You got me. From Highlander to Jeep.
Yeah.
Hey guys, love you. I should have listened to you, but I didn't and bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee instead of a Highlander.
Yeah.
And thought I got a deal, but 500 miles later, the car is at the dealer for a trans sensor issue.
Sorry.
No, but Dad, this also kind of speaks to the quality control issues from the domestics.
Yes. Well, they've always had quality control issues, and some have greater quality control issues than others.
We've got here, Dad, from Brayton.
Yes.
I emailed Toyota USA Vice President Jack Hollis, who said last year that he anticipates average transaction prices for Toyota in the United States to reach $50,000.
Yes.
Let's not let that one sit forgotten, and begged him to produce more Corollas and crack down on dealer markups. He's yet to reply.
Well, here's the deal. Just between the three of us, Brayton, they can't crack down on the dealer about the dealer markups. They have no control over that. You can beg them to produce Corollas and Camrys, but they're not shipping them here. Okay, because they're making more money shipping them elsewhere.
Let's be very clear. Toyota has two problems in the United States. One is they don't make money. That's primary. Number two,
they don't make as much as they do elsewhere. They make money.
Yeah, they make money, not as much as. Number two, they don't have control in the United States. Who has the control in the United States?
A couple of distributors.
The distributors.
And the dealers.
The distributors and the dealers.
Yes.
Those distributors, I've got another example. Let me pull it up on the screen. Another example of what goes on over at Toyota. Bear with me, folks. I've got it right here. This just made us both irate when we saw this, Dad. This was from a couple of weeks ago. This is a manufacturer window sticker from Toyota for a RAV4 Prime. Look at all the various different ways that we can come up with an MSRP. The manufacturer suggested retail price was $43,090. Then when we add on all the distributor related thing, the distributor's manufacturer suggested retail price goes to $45,972. And then ultimately with the destination fee, $47,307. The reason I say Toyota doesn't have any control here in the United States is because look at what happens next. Not only did the distributor add all of these various options, these are all distributor added options. Then the dealer just added $10,000 from nowhere. So now the manufacturer suggested retail price here is $57,095, which doesn't make any sense. And then the dealer marked it up another $14,770 to a $71,865. Toyota, if Toyota could sell their RAV4 Primes to the dealer at a $50,000 or $60,000 or $65,000 invoice price, they'd make a lot of money in the United States. But they don't. They sell it at the actual invoice price, and then they let the distributor and the dealer do very bad things to us. That is what. Wow. That is why Toyota does not participate in the way that they used to in the United States. They don't have control.
Yeah, but none of the manufacturers have control. The way the franchise laws are written,
Toyota's the worst, though, with those damn distributors, man.
But the way the franchise laws are written, they can't control what the dealers ask for their cars. Okay, it's all based on market conditions. The dealers, it is a manufacturer suggested retail price. It is not the retail price. It is just a suggestion. The dealers are free to sell it for whatever people are willing to pay for it. If the market will pay $5,000 more than the MSRP, then that's the market. If the market's $10,000, that's the market. And Toyota or Nissan or Ford or General Motors, they can't force their dealers not to do that. Because they're independent businesses, and because these are only suggested retail prices. It's just a suggestion. When 3 years ago, when there were 3.5 million cars in the country, new cars available on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Did consumers pay anywhere near manufacturer suggested retail price? That was just suggested.
You paid below it.
Nobody paid it.
And didn't the OEMs also still make money then? The dealers still managed to make money then? Yeah, wild.
So the point, it was a suggestion. Sometimes the suggestion's too high. Sometimes the suggestion's too low. It's merely a suggestion.
I hear you, man. I hear you. But I think Toyota is especially in trouble because of those local distributors that add their own layer of markup on top of everything. The domestics don't have to incur that. Some of the other import brands also don't have
but the domestics do things like, I don't know, General Motors said it's going to be $1,500 for OnStar. Oh, and it's going on every car.
Yeah,
okay.
A whole nother thing.
So they do it. They all do it.
Let's jump back to the chat here. Igor earlier on said, Zach, the parts quote shortage is intentional. The big three knew there was a UAW negotiation on a new contract was coming up, so they wanted to have leverage by showing lower production and problems. There you go. So it could be something to do with that. We had Drew ask earlier, can you remind us what the historical average pre-COVID was for days supply at Ford? 84 seems high, but not excessively so. I don't have it on the tip of my tongue here, but I think they were probably closer to like 100, maybe even over 100 days supply.
120 day supply.
Yeah, so Ford's day supply is still not even back to where it was pre-pandemic, but it certainly is building back up. And then we've got that from Ernie. Is it cheaper to order directly from Toyota? This is the whole thing you were just railing on with. You can't. You literally can't.
You cannot order directly from Toyota. Toyota does not have an ordering system for their dealers. They have an allocation system. You can suggest to the dealer what it is that you'd like. The dealer could then pass that information on to Toyota, and then perhaps Toyota will build it and allocate it to that dealer. But there is no ordering process to assure that that dealer would get that vehicle. So, no.
Any more to the rumor Toyota wants to skip the dealer and sell direct to consumers? I don't think they do.
Well, in other countries they do, and people are thinking, okay, well, they're going to try and do that in the United States. Well, I don't know how many Toyota dealerships there are in this country, but each and every one of them is an independent business that has a signed franchise agreement, and if they're only making 3% now, it would be a negative number. When they have to incur all the legal expenses from the dealer suing them. So it's a nice thought that they would like to do away with the dealer body. It ain't happening. It just, I just wish people would get that thought out of their minds. Rivian can do it. Tesla can do it. New startups can do it where they've never had franchise dealers, and they just do manufacturer consumer direct. Okay, but the way the dealer network has been set up in this country, and it's been set up like this for 100+ years, those type of changes aren't happening.
Let's come here to the chat. David with a thoughtful contribution.
Thank you, David.
Just purchased quantity 3. Just purchased 3?
Okay, quantity, I guess, yeah.
Q2Y.
Yeah.
3. Volkswagen ID4s, $4,500 off MSRP each, plus the $7,500 capitalized cost on each. That's the
On the
federal
lease,
tax.
yeah.
Yep. ID4 instant on the lease. Looked at the Lexus RZ Volkswagen wins. We have seen ID4 inventory through the roof. So I am glad to hear that you got the $4,500 off dealer discount. And Dad, this leads me to want to bring up something that you brought up just the other day when we were over on the Ray and Zach channel, which is if you are actually in the market, this is something that you need to do sometime soon. We have 100% free cheat sheets, guys. CarEdge.com/cheat. All of these cheat sheets are 100% free, and they walk you through everything. Car buying cheat sheet, negotiation cheat sheet, first-time car buyer's guide, a dealership glossary of terms, how to end your car lease, how to lease a car. All of these cheat sheets are 100% free. There's no gimmicks, no games, or anything like that. So I look at a comment from David talking about how he did so well. It makes me want to remind people there are cheat sheets, folks.
They can help you.
I wish Ernie was right. I wish you could just snap your fingers and your Toyota shows up like pretty much anything else you buy on Amazon. But that ain't how it works. It's not how it's going to work for a long time. You did this for 40 years. Please, please, please.
Why do you shortchange me?
Because I'm trying to keep you young.
I did it for 43 years.
Go use the cheat sheets, CarEdge.com/cheat from Matt.
Yes. Thank you, Matt.
Very, very, very kind contribution. Thanks for the valuable information, guys. Your negotiation pointers helped me get a great deal on my new Tahoe. Boom.
See?
Boom.
It all depends. I mean, you gotta, we provide the tools, we provide the information, but it's up to you to absorb the information and then to apply it. What's one of my favorite sayings? Knowledge is power, and then I amended that to say that's applied not true. It's applied knowledge that is power.
Yeah.
To have that knowledge and not apply it, that there ain't no power in that.
Dad, can we talk about here? I want to do a couple more comments in the chat, and then I want you to start thinking about winners and losers.
Oh, my God.
No, I do. I always like getting your take on this. We've got here. From JJ 1980, Toyota dealer won't tell me the price of a Tacoma I like. They have the MSRP crossing. Great.
Well, then you need to go to a different Toyota.
Makes it easier to buy the damn thing. PNW girl says, I work for Subaru, and I hear all day long how fed up people are with Toyota.
Well, and only because it's true.
So that's why I'm talking about winners and losers.
Yeah.
Does Subaru become the new Toyota? Does Tesla become the new Toyota? Does Mazda? Does Kia? Does Hyundai? Is it a new brand? We're not even. Is it BYD? Warren Buffett has a bunch of money in BYD. Maybe it's BYD, Dad.
I don't.
Do you think these stalwarts? Do you think that these legacy automakers maintain their grasp? Do you think they're the ones that we look at 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
I think with the advent of EVs and all the money that they've committed to EVs and all the money that they're losing through that commitment to EVs, that I think some of these legacy manufacturers, that might not be here. It would not surprise me if 100-plus-year-old company that manufactures automobiles is no longer in business. It wouldn't surprise me, because the cost of moving to EVs for those manufacturers is so astronomically high, and they are so far behind the Elon Musk 8-ball.
So far.
Yeah. Okay. That they'll never catch them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think some of these manufacturers, a smart one might say, as much as we'd like to invest in EVs, and we do, we're just going to temper that investment a little bit. We think there's still a future for ICE vehicles beyond 2030, because the goals that have been set for the amount of EV adoption they hope to have by 2030, in my opinion, are not going to be hit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, are going to, some shareholders are going to say, stop building the EVs if it's costing us this much money. The whole concept behind us investing in your company is so that we can get a return.
Yeah, definitely. Isn't there also this other theory? Yeah. There's also this other theory that we can make the cars more profitable as automakers by making them subscriptions somehow, some way. Well, we also had news just this past week, Dad.
Yes.
BMW. We did it, folks. We did it, gang. BMW is giving up on their heated seats subscription because people hated them. We have seen time and time again these executives from these automakers come out and say, we are going to make more money off of our cars because the car is just a, no pun intended, vehicle to sell subscriptions.
Yes.
It's going to have all sorts of fancy Mercedes with some of their vehicles. You can accelerate faster if you pay the subscription. Toyota had a snafu earlier this year, it was last year, where your remote start could work for a while, but then you had to subscribe to make sure your remote start could keep working. BMW walking back the idea that they're going to have heated seat subscriptions. Stellantis executives have come out and said it's going to be a $20 billion business for them, getting people to subscribe to crap in their car by 2030.
That's already in their car.
So we're starting to see pushback from consumers, which is good, because if the crap's in the freaking car, you should just have access. If it's already
there, it's there, and it should not suddenly become a subscription item.
Heated seat subscription. OMG, who came up with that idea? Capitalism did, Stephen. Capitalism birthed that idea. And fortunately, we're pushing it back because it's terrible.
And they were doing it in Europe and trying to do it here, and it didn't seem to work as well here.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
Shannon, thank you for the contribution.
Thank you, Shannon.
Always nice to see you. Chip shortage is no longer valued as before. Our factory starts are currently very low. Last year, we couldn't produce enough product. Zach, good luck at the triathlon and be careful. Yeah, it is interesting. We've got community members who are literally at the production level.
Yes.
And we're not hearing the same things we heard last year. And also the data from Auto Forecast Solutions also demonstrates that the chip shortage is not, at least here in the United States, not holding things back like it was a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it was a real thing.
Definitely it was a real thing.
And then it became a crutch thing.
A scapegoat.
Yeah, a scapegoat thing, and it wasn't a real thing anymore. And they were leaning on it like it was still a real thing. And it's not any longer. Are there some issues? Yes, some, but they're minor in comparison.
All right, I want to do one other storyline for tonight, Dad, which is let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing over in the used car market. So let me jump over here. Used vehicle supply drops on strong sales. The latest data we have from Cox Automotive shows that used cars are still this hot commodity.
Hot.
Earlier this week over on the Ransack channel, we did an example. Remember, we actually sold a car. So Carvana had contacted me saying that, give me a second, I'm going to pull that back up.
And then we put it on our widget to sell a car.
We're going to do that again tonight because the other trend that we're seeing amidst all of this is that used car prices, even though wholesale values have gone down like crazy, somehow the retail prices continue to stay high and trade-in values. Give me a second. It's going to take me a moment. Yeah, actually, I've got one right here. Let's do this one together, guys.
Okay.
Let me share the screen again. I get these emails from Carvana all the time. This time it's a 2018 Honda Accord in Florida.
That went up $587.
No, it went up more than that, Dad.
Oh, yeah, $1,587.
Yeah, in 1 month, this Honda Accord went up $1,587. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to, bear with me for one moment. We're going to go to our website. We're going to click on the Sell tab. Just like the other cheat sheets we were talking about, this is also free, and this is going to be super interesting. We got a VIN.
57,000 miles.
Had 57,000 miles, and we need a Florida zip code. Let's do a Miami zip code. Miami zip code. Bear with me, gang. 33101. 33101. Let's see. Carvana increased the price on this by $1,500 in 1 month. Clean title. We own the thing. We have the title. It's never been in an accident. No defects. Nothing. No. I'm getting good at this.
You are.
No. This is a speed run for me.
Yeah.
2 keys, new tires. No. Sure, I'm going to buy a new car.
Ooh, buddy.
Again, Carvana for this vehicle increased their price.
Yes.
$1,500. $16,805. Let's see what the car's worth. Let's see what's going on.
CarMax will pay $19,000.
I don't get it, man. This is the exact same thing that happened with the truck we did.
Yes.
Carvana was offering seemed like a good price. It went up. And CarMax was like 15% higher. And here's another example. So all the while, and Vroom's nowhere close. CarGurus is nowhere close. Give me the VIN. We got to wait for them to get us an offer. So while we're having this conversation tonight about what's going on in the new car market, the used car market's still kind of crazy, man. Used car market's definitely still crazy. Your trade-in value is still crazy. This is craziness.
It is indeed, and there's, in my mind, no end in sight for what's going on with pre-owned.
You
cars.
think that used car prices are going to remain elevated for years?
Absolutely, and I think that if you find a car that you like at a price that is reasonable to you, in a pre-owned car, that you're better off buying it today than waiting and hoping for it to go down in value, because all that time we've been waiting and hoping for these vehicles to go down in value. They have been, going up in value, or the amount of value that they've lost has been so minimal, you would have been better off having bought the car and enjoying it already.
Yeah. We did see for a while there, wholesale values going down, trade-in values going down.
Yes.
Now things are like plateaued, and now trade-in values are going back up, and I imagine retail prices are still going to be crazy through the roof as well.
Yes, because that's where they make their money.
All right, I've got an Ironman in the morning.
You do. I've heard that.
I have to be at the Ironman Village. That's what it's called, Ironman Village at
IMV.
I'm going to be there about 5:45 in the morning. 5:40.
You know where I'm going to be?
You're going to be asleep. My dad's not even coming to cheer me off for the swim.
You're damn right I'm not.
He's not even going to be at the finish.
Yeah, but I'm going to be on the route to see you go by.
I'm doing a race in your backyard. And it is too much of a schlep for you to do 2 miles to the finish line.
When you do it in my backyard, I'll be there for start and finish. But when the start is in one place and the finish is somewhere else, and neither is, both are within 2 miles of my house. But
but I can't come to either.
I'm not going to be anywhere at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I love you, but I'm not going to, no. And I got my brother coming down so we can walk up to the boardwalk.
How old is Kenny? 80?
He's 80. And the one thing he doesn't need is to be, and you know him, he wears nothing but long pants.
Yeah, he's going to be sweating his ass.
So
sweating his butt off, excuse me.
So, the one thing that 80-year-old doesn't need to be doing is walking to the boardwalk and back tomorrow so we can watch you huff and puff and, I don't know, kind of stagger past it.
Okay, everyone look at this. I am very nervous. The card content's done. So if you don't want just to hang out with us for a couple minutes, the card content's done. We are not offended if you want to go do something else with your Saturday night.
Yeah.
We're in Ventnor City, New Jersey. Can I show you what I'm scared of? All right,
sure.
All right, come on. Get out of here, Ad. Hourly. Bear with me. It's loading. Wait for it. Okay, tomorrow.
Is this a today thing?
It is a today thing. It is.
Is this a tonight thing?
It's a tonight thing. All right. The race starts at 7 a.m.
Okay.
74 degrees. No big deal, right?
And the real feel is 80.
No big deal. I mean, I'd prefer it to be cooler, but no big deal.
Humidity, just 94%.
94% humidity.
If it were me, I'd jump in the shower before you, because you might as well just start the day being wet.
That's inhumane.
Yes.
94% humidity is terrible, man.
Yes. Igor wants to know what I'm wearing on my wrist today.
Go for it, Pops. 94%.
94%. You'd be better off if it was a shower.
It's gonna be a shower.
This is a D1 Milano. It's an automatic screw down crown, date, time, automatic. I forget how many feet. It doesn't matter because I'll never be there.
For the
depth, it's 300 meters, which is 1,000 feet. So the only way this ever sees 1,000 feet is if you
do an Ironman.
If I go overboard with concrete slabs strapped to my feet as I go down 1,000 feet, and I rest on the bottom, and the good news is I'm dead. But the watch, it took a licking, and it will still be ticking, and there won't be any water in it. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, would they?
Yeah. And it's one of my favorite. I think I took this watch to St. Martin.
It's a good looking watch, man.
It is a good looking watch with the rubber band and the Yeah, it's not bad.
Here we go from Erica.
Yeah,
I
thank
am
you,
an
Erica.
Iron Man. Thank you for the contribution. Remember to be a fast pace car, not a race car. Salt is your friend. Grab some paydays to keep in your kit for the run. Thank you, Erica. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna finish, hopefully.
Yeah. Yes. And people want to hear about your ice laden pantyhose that you're going to have.
Yeah. So here, Erica, you might find this interesting. So I read on the internet, which is where you should take all of your advice from. So I got pantyhose, and they are currently full of ice in our freezer at home. And I got a cooler that our neighbor Jay just brought over. And for the bike ride, I'm going to have the frozen ice-filled pantyhose in my tri-kit on my back to try and keep me cool.
Wow.
So
happy birthday, Sean. I'd sing it, but happy birthday to you. There, that's as good as I can. That's my best Marilyn Monroe impression.
pretty good, man.
Happy birthday.
Pizzle. You actually can. J-Max says wear an Apple AirTag so family can track you. They have a great app. Iron Man has a great app, so you can actually, if anyone wants to track me on tomorrow's race, that'd be interesting. You're more than welcome to. Just go to the Iron Man.
That's what I'm going to do, so I know what time to head down to the boardwalk to cheer you on.
Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, here we go from Erica saying, great idea. Just do not put ice down the front of your shorts. You will not. Yeah, I've made that mistake, Erica.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to have a fellow Iron Man in the building. All right, we are going to call it a night so that I can
get
head
some
home.
rest.
I'm going to go eat some cake.
Do what you need to do, buddy. You do what you need to do. You good luck tomorrow. We're
Thank you,
all
Dad.
pulling for you.
Thank you.
We're hoping that A, you complete it, and B, you live through it.
Oh, Dad, wait a second from Lawrence here. Let me pull
Yes.
this up on the screen because we do have an update on this front, which is super important. Hopefully
Okay.
it'll come up on the screen, this damn
There
computer.
it is.
Any plans for another trusted dealer pricing on Ford and Ram West Coast like you did East Coast for Ram and Subaru? Yes, Lawrence. We are actually going to have nationwide for Ford preset CarEdge pricing, delivery to your home, a concierge, a CarEdge concierge involved in every part of the transaction. No hidden fees, no add-ons. Nationwide for Ford, 2 weeks. Give us 2 weeks. We've got a dealer partner that we're working with. Super excited about that. Don't have one for Ram lined up quite yet. We have Nissan that we're working on as well. So we are working on nationwide being able to get CarEdge predetermined pricing, no add-ons, delivered to your door with one of our team members facilitating the whole thing within the next 2 weeks. So thank you for asking, Lawrence. Yeah, super excited about that.
Wow. Wow.
You might even buy an F-150.
Not gonna happen.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you back on Monday over on the on the Ray and Zach channel.
Yes. We'll
Yeah.
find out how Zach did on Monday. We can talk about that and cars as well. Thank you all for being here. Have a great night, everybody.